The FBI is flooding the internet with warnings for parents.
We're going after the new form of what I refer to as modern-day terrorism in America.
Children are being misled, groomed, threatened, and extorted into hurting themselves and even committing acts of murder. It's led to school shootings coast to coast, from Tennessee to Wisconsin to Colorado.
Use caution, active shooters.
The threat: online groups called 764, Maniac Murder Cult, and other names. They're mysterious to you, but not necessarily your kids. Law enforcement has its own name for this threat: Nihilistic Violent Extremism, or NVE.
It's grounded in the belief that nothing matters, and that the only way sometimes to feel anything at all is through violence. The ideology is nihilism, and the victims are kids.
NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism, Rebecca Weiner, says the threat has some distinct characteristics.
This is influencer culture online at its most sadistic.
The groups are on mainstream online platforms, even self-help forums for kids with mental health issues. Minors are targeted on those platforms by adults, and then those victims are pushed to target other kids. Children are groomed to engage in acts of self-harm and to create child sex abuse content.
And if a child tries to pull away from the network, they get sextortion, they get threatened.
As kids spend more and more time online, with many finding very real and positive connections, part of the concern for parents is how hard it is to predict the victims. Who are the types of kids that are getting preyed on?
It's anyone. It's a 4.0 student who is doing great at every aspect of life. It's somebody who's struggling.
Weiner, whose group tracks the most serious terrorism threats worldwide 24/7, says they are focused on these groups, which they found almost by accident.
The Joint Terrorism Task Force in New York first started to learn about nihilistic violent extremism through the case of an individual in Queens. We didn't really know what it was. When we dig more, when we start to understand what he's all about, we see a much larger network.
Angel Almeida has been charged federally, and prosecutors told a judge that he made a blood oath to a satanic group and posted these photos to social media. He's pleaded not guilty, and a judge found him not competent to stand trial. Separately, 2 of 764's leaders have been accused of conspiring to try and get a young girl to write in her own blood on her own body. And if she didn't, an indictment says an alleged leader wrote, "You have this image and you have her school. You can blackmail her and tell her you will send this picture to her family and friends. She can avoid if she just obeys you." Both men are fighting their charges. Weiner, a mother herself, has advice for parents for children as young as 12.
Parents need to have those conversations in the way that you and I were taught not to talk to strangers and not to engage in conversations that could be problematic when we were young.
An age-old warning.
Talk to your children about not talking to strangers.
But now, the stranger is inside your house, influencing your kids right at their fingertips.
Whew, Tom is joining us now. There's a lot there, Tom. I know you're going to. I want you to talk about what parents should be looking out for. But can I ask you, like out of curiosity, why 764? What is the significance of those numbers?
Right. Well, 764 is actually the first 3 digits of the zip code where the alleged founder of this group is from in Texas. So that's the meaning behind the 764. You know, Commissioner Weiner wants parents to be on the lookout for a couple of things. One, and this is going to be difficult to talk about here, Hallie, but if your child is writing names and cutting themselves, that's something to look for. The sudden behavioral and emotional shifts, any sort of signs of animal cruelty with their pets at home, that's actually a big telltale sign of this, unfortunately, along with abuse of other siblings. And then if you're getting swatting calls, getting doxxed, that's a big sign that your kid could potentially be in big trouble. She wants people to know that the NYPD and other law enforcement agencies are there to work with kids and parents to try to get them out of these situations and to try to obviously bring justice. And one final note, Hallie, on the Almeida case, the judge not only found that he was so mentally incompetent as to stand trial, that he actually is not recoverable, means that he needs serious mental health help in a psychiatrist just to be able to get him to the point where he could be back in court to face those charges.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.